Welcome to another episode of Only Time Can Tell. I'm your host, Ken, and thank you for joining us this week. Before we begin, don't forget to hit the like button so that way you could get new notifications every time we record new videos. And also tell a friend to tell a friend so that way we can grow this channel. Now, like I've always say every week, I like to highlight success on what success looks like in its many different forms. And I got a guest for you that has an extensive history in Hollywood. You may have seen him before. He's a famous, how'd you coin it? You're the famous.
I'm the goatiest.
You're the goatiest person around. Yeah, there you go.
I'm the most goatiest unknown entertainer you ever gonna see in your life.
Perfect. Please.
We're gonna have some fun.
Right. The goatiest entertainer. That's what's up, man. Please welcome me and join in my guest, Capital J.
Click the bow.
Capital J, thank you for joining us, man. Thank you for sharing your time, man, and helping to, show our viewers what success looks like from your walk.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So before we begin or whatever, why don't you tell people a little bit about you or whatever? I heard that you, did some Def Comedy Jam, you did some movies or whatever.
Yeah,
Who are you, man?
Well, I'm Jones' child, first of all. Anybody that know me, they know I'm Jones' child, and Donald's son. So with those two things, you know what I'm saying, Irma Wood, as my grandmother, she had the number spot. My grandfather, he drove trucks and retired. So I'm like a certain built child. Like I was built to be a real, true entity of entertainment. I tap danced in the Apollo when I was 6.
Oh, wow.
Because my grandmother was one of those type of grandmothers, you're not going to be bored in the house. You're going to do something. So, my family comes from, we a jazz family. You know what I'm saying? To this day, we Cootie Williams estate. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So basically, Fats Waller, you know what I'm saying? Like all of them, they were in my house. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you grow up, you might want to grow up and you see things. You might go outside, you want to be a crack dealer. You know what I'm saying? You want to be, you know what I'm saying? Like you see somebody, you want to be a scientist. You want to be, Nah. I always wanted to be the greatest kid in my house. Like in my house, it was jazz legends. It was number runners, gangsters. You know what I'm saying? But everybody was the best at it.
Right.
So I said, because I made my moms and my Aunt Jean roll around on the floor when I was probably about 8, 9. I'm not talking about, literally making them laugh and then rolling around on the floor. So when I did that like kind of struck something to me. I said, yo, how do you make your moms and your aunt roll on the floor? But then I realized girls started liking me because I was funny. Right. So then I started realizing, wait, me being me is making people like me.
Right. So
that at an early age, I started rapping. So I put a song out when I was 17. Actually, I put a song out with Johnny Fresh, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm gonna say what it is. Johnny Fresh was a big time drug dealer. He spent mad money on me when he first started, so he put me out.
So he saw the talent in it.
Oh my God, he saw the true ultimate talent, and we did it musically. But then he had to go do a stint. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was kind of I was stopped at like 20. I started at 17, started my music thing. I was traveling around the country doing songs and whatnot. This is before all that internet stuff. So I had to stop at 20. And 20, I had a summer youth job. I got bit by a rat. So I went, see, that's what I'm saying. Because I went to the Uptown Comedy Club, right?
Hold on. So just walk us through. So when you started out, your whole thing, what did you want to be as a kid?
As a kid, I wanted to be an entertainer because I learned what entertainment was. You know what I'm saying? Entertainment was you could do anything in a hall, meaning you could get on a flute or a piano. You could play with the band and then get up and go host. You know what I'm saying? Right. You can have a entertainer's dynamic that allows you to be useful in any type of capacity.
Right.
So learning that in my house, you know what I'm saying? I learned music first. As I said, I come from a jazz house.
Okay.
So I learned music first.
What was your instrument? Yeah.
My true first instrument was like a piano.
Piano.
Yeah.
Okay.
Learning like, little notes and chords and whatnot. Right. And then like, I used to try to really mess with like a flute. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But then I'm not like the best like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people are really, really good with me. I get it wrong, and it's like I'm spitting rather than I'm Kenny G. And Kenny G, me, I'm like, stick 'em, stick 'em. So it never worked out. But I make beats.
Okay.
I do songs right now. I got a song I did last year with Tretch. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do the entertainers thing, meaning there are a lot of multimedia platforms for entertainers. If you can entertain, why just be a rapper?
Right.
Why just be a comedian? Why just be an actor?
Okay. So now your whole thing was, all right, I wanted to do piano, and then at some point that morphed into...
No, I didn't want to do piano. We had a piano in my house.
Okay.
So
by default.
By default, it was like just constantly being able to play on it.
Right.
I remember at like about 14, like 13, 14, I started making my own songs. Like I would make a song and like somebody come in and sing it like, we about to smoke some weed. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that process just always had me being into performing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So then what I was saying was my man went to jail. So as I said, I got bit by a rat. But before I got bit by the rat, I went to the Uptown Comedy Club and I looked in and I said, Joe, I'm mad funny. How could I be a comedian?
Okay.
So he was like, all right, come back. And when I came back, I was bit by the rat. So I told him I was bit by the rat. He said, you a funny motherfucker already.
Hold up, man. Hold up. All right. So you decided at some point you was just like, all right, you wanted to try your hand in comedy.
Yes.
What inspired you to want to go that route? Like, was
Making
it
my mother and them roll when I was little. So I was sure that I could rap. So
Okay.
I was rapping, making a little couple of dollars. Back then, it was selling singles and whatnot. I sold singles for $5. You know what I'm saying? Like you go downtown.
You was one of those guys on Wall Street.
Yeah, go to Wall Street go to Wall Street, right? And in Wall Street, they had a lot of distribution people, meaning they would take an order of 1,000 CDs and 1,000 vinyl, and they would duplicate it for you. They'd press it up once you have your masters and everything. So I did it like that. But then when I went to Uptown Comedy Club, it's like I started in the summer. I started right after my last summer youth check in '92.
Okay.
I couldn't go to summer youth no more. I had to get a job. So it was like, I told my mom, listen, I'm funny.
Okay.
And I went in '92. From '92 to mid '93, I got booed every time I got on stage. So for like 9 straight months, I got booed.
Okay.
And then from
doing comedy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then a year and 5 months later, I was on Def Comedy Jam as the hottest young nigga in the whole country.
Cool. Now, what did you learn? Did you learn anything from being booed? Like, I'm sure that must have like impacted or had.
Well, it fucked me all the way up.
Yeah.
It fucked me all the way up.
Especially like what you said, several years or?
Nah, no. I mean,
like
you talking about
times?
like 9 months.
9 months.
9 straight months. You know how many people thought I was mental? They thought I was mental. People, they were like, yo, bro, come on. After 3 months, nigga, give up.
Right.
I had a person in the club tell me give up. The only person that didn't tell me give up was my mother. That's the only person. Everybody else was like, bro, maybe it's not for you.
Right. Right.
And you want to know something?
And actually, that's pretty important. And I want my viewers to really appreciate that gem. Because if there's something that you really want to do, you got to be, you can't be afraid to fail at it, man. My man was doing it for 9 months. People was telling him to give up. But he knew that deep down inside, I got to keep
I'm the goatiest.
I'm the goatiest.
I knew deep down inside I'm the goatiest.
Exactly, man. So, all right, so then you stuck with it, right?
Yeah.
And then you wind up auditioning or getting a role in Shaft?
Well, now before that,
okay,
it was a blizzard. Like I just got the fresh glow and whatnot, and it was a blizzard. So I walked to the Apollo. You couldn't tell me nothing because I just got a stand ovation on Def Jam. D-Lo, remember D-Lo back in the days?
Nah, I don't remember.
Exactly. D-Lo, they were definitely a company to try to get into the hip-hop game, but it was like they were trying to get in the hip-hop game. So D-Lo, after I did Def Jam, sent me some clothes. Let me tell you how my ghetto ass was so happy, right? I ain't have no coat. I didn't have a coat. I had a D-Lo. If I show you the picture where I was on Showtime at the Apollo, you're going to be like, nigga, you ain't walked through a blizzard fucking from 41st to 25th in that. The same sneakers I had on, I rocked Def Jam with, and a D-Lo sweater with the headband. Word to mine, I went to the back of the Apollo. I'm snowy and shit. So I walk in, and Chuck, God bless the dead, Chuck's son. Chuck, his brother, yeah, Chuck's the one that passed, because his brother was two of them. It's Percy and Chuck. The one that passed, I knew both of them for years. I told you I tap dancing in Apollo when I was a little kid. I knew them for years. Everybody knew who the Suttons was. So I walk in, Chuck, what up? Hey, what's up, Jay? Chuck? Yeah. Gerald Kelly walks over. Now Chuck got this look like he looking around. And you know what the problem is? It's a blizzard. All the comedians from out of the state supposed to come in. They can't fly in. Gerald said, yo, he just rocked Def Comedy Jam last month. Chuck said, you want to go on? I was like, hell yeah. And that's how I got on Showtime at the Apollo. I just walked back there.
Wow, man. So that perseverance, you know.
Yeah. That's the whole point of me telling you all this. When you said, what's the thing that, you know, really pushed me, you know, the house I grew up in. Like, I just was talking to my sister yesterday. I said, you know, a lot of people, they, oh, I'm on a cruise ship. I'm down south in the house, chilling. My grandma was the number lady. My grandfather was an honorable dude that took care of me all the time, and he drove trucks for 50 years to take care of the family. So it was just kind of this blanket of, I never want to leave y'all.
Right.
So I was a stoop nigga. I stayed on the stoop. I wouldn't go past that stoop because they was in the house. So I wouldn't go. I really, as a kid, it took me to them, for them to die, for me to start going places and going to do shit, because I would never leave my grandparents. I would not leave them, because my block was real family oriented. So I was like, I was one of them type of kids. You couldn't play tag with me. You couldn't play tag with me. I had too many houses to run in.
Right.
So I never got caught in tag, because as soon as we play a tag, I'm in somebody's house. Like, I run in Miss Primrose's house. So, you got some lemonade?
Right.
She'd be like, oh, hey, sit down, baby. Go ahead, sit down. So.
All right. So you got Def Comedy Jam. You got the Showtime.
Showtime at the Apollo.
Showtime at the Apollo.
Yeah.
Right. And then, like you said, then you also
I did movie parts and shit. Like, I had this movie part, right? It's what's the name of this shit? I was playing a comedian, and it was crazy because they was like, all right, listen, we want you dissing white people. I was like, what? I don't diss white people in my comedy. He was like, well, just go ahead, you know, we just want you to be like an angry black comedian and diss white people. I was like, fuck it, I'm getting paid for it. 2 Chris's, that's the name of it, 2 Chris's. So fuck it, I'm getting paid for it. So it was like, just like this, it was some cool shit. They was like, yeah, go ahead. So he was like, yeah, so just act like you just talking and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, so you know, white people, man, they smell like beer and bologna. They was in that motherfucker dying laughing, yo. I just was saying crazy shit like, I didn't even mean it, you know what I'm saying? But I just was saying shit that flew out my head, and I sound like an angry black comedian.
Right.
And I love white people, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Right.
I love all people, but I like all people good people. I don't like all people good and bad. Like, I don't want to see the shitty part of other people's culture, because you know what? Me, I'm trying to dial it down for my culture. Like, I'm trying to tell all my brothers and sisters, like, yo, chill. Let's keep it in God. Believe in yourself. Don't fucking hurt your family. And get a better camaraderie to humanity. So you go in the store, you go into something, you're not looking at people like fucking looking at. You know what I'm saying? Just change the pace. The evolution of humanity is now being controlled by the circuitry of the internet and computers and people's ideologies. You know what I'm saying? It used to be churches' ideologies that would make people divide. And then now it went to political. Now it's the person itself and their IP address.
Right.
Go ahead. My bad, because I digressed.
No problem.
I digressed.
No problem. No. All right. So, were there any people in the industry that you worked with that you admired, or anyone that was able to give you some pointers or some tips?
Bill Bellamy. Well, every comedian that I first came up with, Bill Bellamy was somebody that he like saved my whole stage life over the Peppermint when everybody was booing me. Man, everybody was booing people and they were about to boo me. And he came just after recording You on TV Raps. He just got the job from Love and Dr. Dre, they got off,
Right.
and he got on. The first taping, and he came back, and the whole show, they was booing everybody.
Right.
And he made it there just in time, everybody laughed, and then said, yo, I'm bringing one more person. They was like, nah. He was like, yo, listen, if he ain't funny, I'm gonna quit comedy. They was like, get the fuck out. Word? Build my bro.
Talk about some pressure, man. Right.
It wasn't pressure because he knew.
Right, okay.
See how he knew.
Right.
A lot of people didn't know. He knew.
Right.
Yo, y'all about to be enjoyed by this dude.
Right.
So him, I gotta say Freddie Ricks. No, actually, I'm gonna say Freddie Ricks before Bill Bellamy, because Freddie Ricks, like, literally just used to grab me up and take me to mad shows when I first started.
Okay.
So Freddie Ricks,
exposure.
yeah,
Right.
Freddie Ricks, Bill Bellamy, J.B. Smoove, but then me, Tracy Morgan, and Gerald Kelly was the three amigos. Like, we was the.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
we was the young cats. Like, we was young. We was in our early 20s and shit.
Right.
And we was like we was like sponges. We just wanted to learn how to make people laugh. We didn't care about the politics of comedy.
Right.
That's why if you look at Gerald right now, you look at Tracy, still to this day, they can demolish a stage.
Right.
Because it's one thing to be funny on stage, but then it's another thing to demolish it.
Right.
We demolish stages. I could literally say one time, I really was so funny that I made people running around like people was in there shooting. I don't know if you ever seen a crowd sitting there and everybody bougie, and then niggas is running around like somebody shooting. I did that. I made three people almost die for real, and not being funny, like for real. They had like seizures because I had them
laughing that hard.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah,
My bad. I'm all. He said go to the next question.
He's so
The
funny.
goat is.
He's so funny. You could have almost died.
I almost made three people almost die laughing for real.
That's crazy, man. Hence Def Comedy Jam. All right, so you know what's funny, because I remember, I want to say in 1999, I remember when John Singleton was shooting the movie Shaft, or he was going into pre-production.
Yes.
They did an open casting call up in Harlem. And I remember going there, but me not really knowing the industry, I got there, I think, on time or some shit like that. And like the line was like down the block.
Fuck it. It's called a cattle call.
Right. Needless to say, I was just like, screw this,
Fuck
man.
this.
I learned the lesson from that.
Can I tell you what happened to me?
Yeah, I was about to ask you, like, you know, what was your experience?
Let me tell you the fly shit that happened to me. Goatius, I gotta tell you Goatius. First time going for a movie part, right? Now, the shit that I had was, I just got my union card. So, we went to the casting call, another casting call. There's a bunch of niggas, right? I see my cousin. My cousin was in movies and shit, Carlo. He was in movies. So, Carl see me, he said, yo, come on. Fuck this shit. We going over to Eileen Starger. So I was like, fuck is that? It's like, yo, she casting for Shaft right now. So I said, she casted main part. So see, my cousin knew, see, you didn't know.
Right.
You just went, like, here, they're gonna cast it. He went to the plug.
Right.
He took me to the plug. Let me tell you what happened. It was about 12 of us when we walked over there. She said, how many of y'all got SAG cards? Only me and my cousin. So when I walked in, it was a room full of people. People I seen on the wire, people I seen in shit. I walked in, everybody looked at me. I looked at everybody, I said, all right, all you motherfuckers could go home. I'm here now, and slammed the door. Goatius.
Cool. So is there a reason why you took a break from comedy?
Not gonna get emotional right now. But, so, I did Def Comedy Jam. I'm doing my little thing. My mom's calling me. I'm out. I'm living in Brooklyn. You know what, fuck it, it's an interview. So I'm living with the real pretty big titty bitch, like fucking having a good time in life. You know what I'm saying? The best sexy, pretty.
Right.
We got a car. I'm doing shows. My mom's calling me. Yeah. Somebody just robbed me. I was like, what?
Get out of here.
You already know. I'm out in Brooklyn. I'm like, what? Jump in the car. Go back. She on the bed and shit. My brother and sister, you know, everybody looking sad and shit. I sat down. She was like, yeah, so you know, they robbed me. I was like, who? She's like, I don't know. Oh yeah, by the way, I got breast cancer. She said, you know, I feel a little better if you stay home with me. Right. So from like that time to probably like she died in 2017, I just totally was I was totally a nurse.
Right. Yeah, not even a nurse.
I can joke about it now. I was a total nurse. Like,
but it's
I cooked for her, cleaned her.
Right. It's about putting things in perspective. Like she was, you know,
this
was an important piece of your life or whatever. You know?
I got a video that I could show you, but you know what? I know we're doing an interview right now, but once we finish, I could everything. See, that's the thing. I could show you this stuff too, because I got the video where I said one day, yo, just videotape what you do, because 5-10 years from now, you gonna show this shit, and somebody's gonna go, I need to fucking go take care of my mom. I need to go do something. It's not gonna be somewhere it's like, oh, that's cool. They're gonna be like, that's gonna show them what they not doing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to go contribute to some form of her having a happiness. You know what I'm saying? That's what I did. You know what I'm saying?
And it's funny that you say that, because one of my regrets to this day, right, is, you know, I remember, and I was young, I was 17, you know, and my mom was like an alcoholic, you know, and she was like, she was dying, and I didn't even know she was dying. But all I know is that she like looked like, she didn't look remotely like the person I remembered. That's how bad she was looking. You know, and I remember, you know, seeing her that one time, and I was just like, man, I'm gonna act like I don't even see her. Because I didn't want to stop and I didn't want to talk to her because I was so embarrassed at how she looked. And had I known that that was gonna be the last time that I would see her alive, I would have did it completely different. So I can definitely respect you. Just like, yo, I need to put things on hold to make sure that, you know, I make the most of this time.
Tearing up. I ain't gonna lie, I put everything on hold, but I gotta tell you this story real quick, because Put told me I could tell a story if it's pertaining to the story. So 2015, you know, it's a big earthquake, right? Right. So I'm upstairs, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I was doing, as I said, I was doing music. So I had, you know, I had the rapper upstairs with me. His name is English McFly. He was starting to really like get out there. And he had a little couple of dollars and shit, so I was trying to get him to buy some beats from me. It was him and Minky, they was upstairs and shit. And, you know, my guy, Ra, my name's boss Ra. So we sitting there just like this. And I'm like, yo, so, you know, you buy a beat off of me for like, you know, a little $300 or something, you know what I'm saying? Just we get a little money. Right. So he just kind of like thought about it for a second, and I looked away. When I looked away, imagine me doing this and shaking your chair. Like us, Put, you can just look at Put. Like, nigga, don't shake my chair, no bitch. Nigga, what is you doing? Right. I looked at him, I said, oh, my nigga, don't shake no chair. What the fuck is you doing, my nigga? I ain't no girl or nothing. He said, I didn't do that. I swear to God, the whole building went like this. Oh, wow. Man. So now, first thing I do was, I was high. So I thought Godzilla walked by. I swear to everything, I was going to look out the window and go see if Godzilla was walking by. Never in my life did my building go like this. The lights flickered and everything. Wow. So I like got up, and when I got up, you heard people like yelling in the hallway. They just ran. I wouldn't blame them for running. They just ran to get out the building. So they ran, and then Ra was running. Ra ran out, and then I ran. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Right. I ran and got to the door. My nigga, you want to leave your moms in here? Word to mine, something grabbed me and said, you gonna leave your moms in here? Right. And it was mad people running down the steps. That, you know, people running down the steps, you know, there's something wrong. Yeah, yeah. I looked at Ra about to run down the steps. I looked at Ra, I looked at him straight in the face. I said, yo, my nigga, come help me get my moms, yo. Ra turned right back around. We went, and I ran to her. I said, Mom, yo, come on, we gotta get out of here. My mother ice cold. My mother said that my mother she was the goatiest. I'm the goatiest saying the word. She was the real goatiest. Right. She was ice cold. She looked at me, she said, I'm not going nowhere. I looked at her and sucked my teeth and pulled a chair up next to her and just sat there looking at the ceiling the whole time like this. So now let me tell you about my ignorant ass. I thought because when bombs happen and shit blow up, the only thing stay is door frame and a window frame. I said to myself, if this shit come crashing down, I'm gonna try to push her in the window. That whole time, you know what I told that story for a purpose? That whole time, if anybody felt that they was going to die in a situation, she didn't have to feel like she was going to be alone.
Right. Yeah.
So,
it's important, man.
Brother, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I don't know what to tell you on how you feel about that, but I know you give all of the messages you could give in the name of God to people not to do that now.
Right.
Because that'll be your payback.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know you feel bad, but I feel bad hearing that story.
Right.
Because it's certain things, like with my mom, me and my moms, my mom, one time I asked my mom for $1. She said, "That's all you want?" That shit hurt.
Right.
But it was the truth.
Right.
That's all you want is $1? I just wanted $1, go get a cigar.
Right.
She's like, "That's all you want?" That's how my mom's was. Like, nigga, if you want $1, nigga, want $1 million. Want $100 million. Don't want the littlest portion of something.
Yeah,
don't sell yourself short.
Right, right.
Exactly.
Oh, man. So did you find it, so after, you took the time off or whatever, you got back into comedy, did you find it hard getting back, or was it like...
Hell no, that's how I met Pipe. Let me tell you something. I'm a goon.
Right.
I'm a goon. When it come to, that's how I got on Def Comedy Jam so fast. Because I gooned it.
Right.
I took, when you play a video game and it say easy and medium, then expert?
Right.
I take the expert
you go
role.
Straight up, okay.
So when you fall on the expert, you know what that's like? That's like trying to get on the treadmill going at 6.
Right.
A couple of times you're going to fall, shit going to hurt. But once you get that stride, that's what I do. I go, like, that's what I'm saying, I'm trying to put out music to be next to Vivendi. That's what I'm saying, like Vivendi, it's not saying Def Jam or Atlantic. I want to be next to Vivendi. Vivendi is the people who distribute those people.
Right. Gotcha. All right, so what advice would you have to any young comedian, musician, or just entertainer? What advice would you give them that you felt was helpful in helping you to achieve the level of success that you have?
Never let nobody tell you shit about your thoughts or what you think. If you put that shit on paper, that shit gonna work. Don't never let nobody guide you and make you think that you're supposed to go in any direction from your original format and design and texture. Basically, and always, fuck what people think, yo. You gotta believe in yourself 100%. When somebody come to you and tell you something ain't gonna work, you should adjust it to be like these people. Get the fuck away from them.
Right. Right.
Somebody not gonna tell you, yo, bro, let's enhance your shit.
Right.
Let's see how this can work. Let's see how it can sell. Because, see, you could have 10 people around you and don't nobody want to sell a song.
Right. Yeah.
But if you got 8 people that know how to sell songs, all you got to do is make them. You're going to have a bunch of people that's going to help you sell the songs. That's the difference between a rapper who don't have no views and a rapper that got, like Lil Baby. Lil Baby got a whole world around him to push his music.
Right.
And then he's hot. So he's like, he's basically compounded, you know what I'm saying, with success.
Right.
So I would tell him that, don't, and never give up. Oh, that's another thing too. I'm 50. Okay. Never give up.
Right.
Unless you're going to die, then you got an excuse to give up on what you're doing. But if you don't die and you're not sick and you can actually still keep moving to mentally keep your brain together to keep going, don't never give up, because that means you're going to give up on a day and you're going to give up on a lot of other shit in life that you don't need to.
Right, yeah. Nah, that's dope, man. That's dope.
And always have your publishing and shit together. Always. It's very important to have publishing. It's very important to have understanding and knowledge of how to make money off of your rights and who you are. Because you got a lot of companies that will tell you you get paid this much, but they won't tell you the other things you're supposed to get paid for.
Okay.
They won't tell you about you get paid for your identity. They won't tell you so much stuff, and they will just recoup it in the midst of getting money for you. You just don't know. That's what fell out with a lot of rappers. Some rappers, I ain't gonna name no names, but some rappers, it was like really not moving, and then they moved with another rapper, and they all did good, and they were supposed to get a little from the company. Hey, take this little 400,000 because we just did this, and they don't do that. They don't give it to them. That's why a lot of people break up because of shit like that.
All right. Well, yeah, that's dope, man. I appreciate your stories, your insight, man. Where could our viewers find you, man, if they wanted to, see you or find you on social media or?
My Instagram is capital J _ the comedian. My Facebook is Jason DeVore, JasonDevore, DeVore. It's like French name and shit. I don't know what the fuck it stands for. I know it shit sound like I got like a great vineyard and shit with like 100 acres and shit somewhere and shit with some old nice waterfall shit on the side of the boat.
Right.
So that's what I'm gonna try to get.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? But nah.
That's it.
Other than that, brother, I appreciate this. You know what I'm saying? More than
I
you know,
appreciate you, man. I appreciate you sharing your journey with us, man.
Definitely,
so don't forget,
brother.
everybody, always stay true to yourself. Do not give up. Always keep pushing forward. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not good. Don't let anyone define you.
Never.
You define yourself.
That's
man.
a fact.
That's what my man over here did, and you can do it too. That's gonna do it for this week.
And just to let you know right now, for this show, for him, we the goatiest.
And we're the goatiest. There you go. You got to put that on a T-shirt, man.
I am.
You got to put that on a T-shirt. But that's all right. That's going to do it for us, man. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hit the like button. And stay tuned for next week. Peace. We're out.
I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you will always get an alert when a new video drops.